young people are understanding concepts like green flags and red flags, etc., etc. But reducing human beings only to flags is also a red flag. Okay, I just feel like you can't just look at human beings and say इसके 5 green flag है 6 red flag है इसलिए मैं I will find the next person who will have 7 green flags and 3 red flags. That's not how it works. Action.
Hi, I'm Kanchi.
And I'm Ria.
And you're officially part of the Slumber Party squad.
So welcome back to the Spoke to Soon pod.
No need to be sad because we have internet's favorite girl dad.
That's me. I didn't know. That is me.
That is you.
Thank you.
We start every episode with a rhyme for our guest.
That is such a cool thing, and I'm honored and privileged. It's the honor of a lifetime to be called here. I'm not even joking.
What?
Just the fact, when I was asked to come on this, the first thought in my head was, am I cool? Because
of course.
That's the only reason I would call that a podcast that you both are hosting. So I'm like, thank you. You validated me for my daughter, for the future when she's old enough to think that, when she thinks if my dad is cool or not, I'll say, check out this podcast.
I'm sorry, but Kanchi's going to cry if you continue.
I'm going to use this as a tool to show my daughter that even when you were 14 months old, I was going on cool podcasts.
That's so nice of me to say. Honestly, that's a huge validation for us because you're like the king of
like everything, internet, podcasting, interviews, everything.
Like we are going to learn so much from you today. We already know.
I doubt it.
For sure.
And I think it's like a huge.
It's going to be the opposite. I've learned for the first time today that this is a thing that exists in the world. In like, okay, I still have to learn how to turn it down.
I need to learn how to use that.
I did. I could.
Wow.
This is the coolest thing that I've seen. Literally the coolest thing. It's like not even a metaphor. It is a cool thing. It makes... Look at this. In the heat that we live in, because of you both, I've discovered that you can do things like this. You can just use them.
Yeah.
Men don't even know. We are living in darkness. This is the light. Thank you. So I'm saying I'm going to learn from you all. You know, I guess
this is what we spend girl money on.
Boys just are also spending on stupid things like video games. This is the real thing we need to spend on.
So tell us about your experience. Like tell us something that you think you've learned about yourself since your daughter has come into your life.
I mean, if there's one thing that I've learned, it is that I didn't even realize that I had this capacity to love. I didn't realize I had this capacity to feel joy. I didn't realize that I could care this deeply about another human being on this planet. And I've been in a relationship of 20 years with my wife. Okay, so we've been together 20 years, and ever since our daughter's been born, both of us know. Both of us are like, this is the greatest thing that could... There is no happiness that could come close. You can ask me in the greatest moment of my life, nothing comes... Any achievement, any success, any career thing, any personal thing, nothing comes in comparison to having a child and having a daughter in particular. Wow. So I've just learned that I am... And I hoped for this. I anticipated this. Like I kind of knew that I would feel like this, but every emotion has been compounded a billion times after she's come into my life. So nothing compares. That's just how I feel every day. It's like walking on cloud 9 on a daily basis. Like I go home and I'm just like, whatever problem that I have, you know, my daughter's like, Papa, and I'm like, wait, what are problems? There are no such things as problems if you have a child at home, and if that child is a girl and she calls you Papa. Nothing comes close.
That's so sweet.
I think we are going to cry in this episode.
Yeah.
Like, what is happening?
For sure. Honestly, you know, I love this point of view because sometimes when people, like, you know, they're going to become parents or they're like new parents, there's a lot of stress and pressure that comes with it. Like, there's two mindsets you can go in with, and one is like, oh my god, how will I deal with this? It's going to be so tough. I'm waking up in the middle of the night. I'm tired. Like, I'm changing diapers. Like, you know, all of those things. And then there's also like, oh my god, this is the greatest joy ever. So it's a very nice perspective to hear.
I've literally come... Last night at 1:30 a.m., my daughter decided to wake up, and decided that this is the right time for her to go to the playground.
Oh my god.
What?
Yeah, I take her to the playground every day at 6:30. Okay, so that is like our thing to do together. And at 1:30 in the morning, she's woken up because she fell asleep a little early, and she's just like, it doesn't matter what is the time outside, I want to go to the playground. And right now, she's learned that there is an inside and there is ba.
Outside.
Okay.
Ba is bahar.
Oh.
So she's just like ba. Ba. And I'm just like, kahan jayegi tu? It's 1:30. And she just didn't. She's like, no, I have to go. And she's crying. She's like raising hell. And I'm like, okay, there it is. This is what it is. Then 1:30 in the morning, I'm dressed. And I've gone to the playground.
1 minute. You went to the playground and
Yeah, I mean, it's not that far, So I took her at 1:30 in the
I love
morning.
this.
And until I've taken videos of that. I'm like, I have picture. I took her there until she was at the playground, and I was like, where are the people? Because I know she wants to go to people because she wants to hang with
Other
her,
kids.
14-month-old friends.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, देखो कोई है दिख रहा है तुम्हें? And I proved it to you. And she
That's the
went
middle of the night.
literally. And then when she until she saw, then she touched a place that said playground and like as a thappa मार गया कि as if like it was a mission and I've succeeded. And then I was like, अब कहाँ है? अब वापस. Now then she's like, I am right now her Uber driver. That is my job in her life. I am her transporter, I am her chauffeur, I am her personal vehicle.
I think this is going to continue for many years.
No, I am very happy about that. But that's what I'm saying. That when this happened in the night, I was like, I will never have an adventure like this otherwise. At no point in my life I'm going to wake up at 1:30 and say, I want to go to the playground. Maybe when I was 18, 19, I would have been like, हाँ रात को 2 बजे college के अंदर है तो हम लोग चलते हैं, And I've done stupid things like that. But you do that in college, right? At 3 a.m. you are like, let's go for a trip, and you get on a whatever, you get in a car with friends and then you go somewhere. But when do you do that? In the last 10, 15 years, I've never done it. Now because of my daughter, at 1:30 I saw the playground. And it was amazing. It's a story I'm going to tell forever.
Yeah, and while you said this, I was just thinking about, imagine like 20 years later, she calls you up at 1:30 a.m. from a party and she's like, Papa, pick me up. And you go to pick her up, and then you compare both the situations, like when she was
100%.
literally a year old, I took her to the park and I'm
100%.
picking her up from a party.
That's so sweet.
वो तो लंदन में होगी, न्यूयॉर्क में होगी, मुझे बोलेगी 1:30 पे आ जाओ, मैं तो फ्लाइट पकड़े पड़ूंगा. And unfortunately it will be 24 hours later, the next day 1:30, but I will be there.
But you will show up
Sure.
for her.
100%.
I remember that my mom used to not be a morning person at all. Like, she could not wake up in the morning to save her life. Like, she could not. But when I became like the placard holder of my March Pass thing in my school, she was like, you know what? I will drop you to school every day. So she used to wake up at 5 in the morning and drive to school and drop me to school, when actually on a daily she would wake up at like 10 or 11 a.m. And till date, my friends remember, like, we met my friends from school recently and they remembered and they said, like, Auntie, I remember you used to wake up at 5 and drop us. You used to complain the whole way there, but you used to show up
That's
every
so sweet.
morning to
That
drop
is
us.
so sweet.
And I just feel like, you know what, when your daughter grows up, she's never going to forget these things that you did for her. And maybe some of them she'll like remember from your stories, like some things that you tell her.
No, she forgets even now. She thought at 15 months is forgetting. She's like anybody who can. So she's, I mean, again, and I am proud of her for knowing her priorities. But her priorities are very clear. Like, if I am not taking for a walk, who is the person over here who will take for a walk? She'll go to that person. And she has a standard thing which is just amazing. So whenever she... kids are so cute, man. Babies are so cute.
I love babies.
So she has this thing where whenever somebody picks her up, she automatically assumes that they're going to take her for a walk now. They'll take her down and she's going to get to go out. So we taught her initially that, when you're leaving, you kind of, when you're going somewhere, just say goodbye and say mwah, mwah. So now anybody picks her up, she basically starts saying mwah, mwah, mwah to the rest, because she's like, अब तो मैं जा रही हूँ, अब तो मुझे आपकी जरूरत नहीं है, तो bye bye, mwah, 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 mwah. She just starts giving flying kisses to the entire room. कि I am going now, you are on your own. Bye bye.
So cute.
And I'm just like, so even if I'm getting dressed for office, so she sometimes assumes that I'm going to take her down, and then it's really sad, so I have to put it. So then when she's screaming and saying, why are you not taking me down? So if somebody else picks her up, then she forgets about me and just like, mwah, 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 go.
As long as she's getting to go for
as
a
long
walk.
as she's getting to. So, I mean, great. It's nice to see a young woman with agency. That's great. I'm happy.
We love that also.
Yeah.
What was something that you were totally unprepared for? Like, and after you had her, you realized that, oh my god, aisa bhi hota hai. Like, this happens.
Unprepared for.
I don't know, but he
Nothing?
seems like he would have read a lot of
Yeah,
books.
and I-
No, but
got up.
honestly, sorry.
Continue.
No, honestly, like I've gone the other way. So I overthink everything. Okay. That is just my thing in life. I'm like I think a lot. I think a lot.
It's
and
just not that
it
serious.
is just, I need to, that is what my therapist keeps telling me, interestingly. In fact, she scolded me in the morning because I kept kind of literally had a therapy session in the morning where she scolded me by saying like, why do you take everything so seriously? I'm like, fair enough. And, but my therapist was telling me before I was becoming a dad, just before we were about to have a child, she's like, Nikhil, I just want you to not take fatherhood very seriously. I don't want you to kind of read up too much about it. I don't want you to kind of overthink about it, because just go by instinct, and I think that's where you will do best as a father. That is the one piece of advice that I kind of took genuinely seriously, in that don't take everything very seriously, and just be there in the moment. And then honestly, ever since my child's been born, the one place where I'm not in my head, the one place where I'm not overthinking, the one place where I don't have any anxiety, the one place where I'm not afraid of anything, I don't have any fear, there is no unpreparedness, it is really just when I'm with my baby. Because at that point of time, I'm just being present. I'm being with her. I'm trying to not think about anything else. And the thing is, you don't even want to. Because when she's there in front of you and she's just being a whole human being, you're just, every day is like a miracle, man. Like just 5 days ago, she started walking.
Oh.
She started like, and she's, it's everything, the things you take for granted as adults. It's like when you see a child do them for the first time, nothing can come close to the joy of seeing her joy. Like she was walking with support so far. So she was walking like she could walk, but she would need like support or something on the side. And this is the first time 4 days ago where she fell on the ground after she was, and babies fall a lot, right? So had support, she fell on the ground, and then without the support, she caught up on her own. And it was like this superhero origin story. It really felt like she's like, and the way she looked at us,
she wanted
the joy on her face, like I've done it.
Yeah.
Like I have done this, and I was like, man, what is going to come close to this? Nothing can come close to the joy. And then she started just walking towards you, because that's the first instinct. Like, I want to go to my parent. And then she came very close, and I was about to give her a hug, and then she had a U-turn and went back, and I was like, great. So she's like, yeah, I know you're important, but this walk is much more important right now. So I'm going to go and explore the world, and then I'll come to you. And it's just, there's, honestly speaking, there is nothing that I was not prepared for, in the sense that I didn't look at it as preparedness. I genuinely looked at it as, I just want to be present and I want to respond to my child versus react to it, react to her.
I think listening to all this in the future, she's going to be like so happy.
I feel, and I genuinely feel that my daughter is going to go the other way, where she's just going to be like, why are you so extra? Why have you gone everywhere and kept speaking about me? Why have you not let me be as a human being and told everyone how much you love me? Who does that? Why can't you be like other parents who just keep all their emotions inside?
Why do people know I wanted to go to the park at 1:30?
Exactly. And that's what the thing is for me. I don't know, how do I make the story about me and not about the fact that she's just involved in it? But what do I do? My entire life now is about her only. So
no, this might be a phase as a teenager, but once she grows up, like having a dad that is expressive is actually something very unheard of. So I think this is very, very cool. Like it'll be cool for her at some age, at some point.
I will take this clip, and anytime she says anything to me, I will look at this. Other girls who are cool are telling you this.
It's so cool that he keeps calling us cool,
I think honestly, first of all, I think being a girl on the internet is very difficult. I genuinely think that when you put yourself out on the internet as a young woman in our country, it is very difficult. There's so much you have to face in terms of just trolling, in terms of all kinds of shit that people feel like they have the right to say to you. And then to be able to do it day in and day out, and then to be able to not be afraid of the opinions that you're putting out, and to be able to do it in a way where you are getting even more confident about yourself, I don't think anything compares to that. I would say it's much, much easier being a man on the internet than being a woman on the internet. So men can be cool, but women, I think any woman on the internet is naturally cool to me.
He said it, I'm just listening.
Honestly.
So you spoke about like being a girl on the internet versus being a man on the internet.
Yes.
what are some things that you're doing differently to bring up your daughter in this world, maybe compared to what our parents did or your parents did?
I would say everything.
Yeah, right.
I don't know what else to say. Yeah, I don't think I'm doing anything similar to what I have seen fathers of my generation do. I was very, very sure, first of all, that see, I'm a very late dad. Okay, so I'm most even with like millennials who are thinking about having a child at the right time, they're having a child around 33 to 34 to 35, and I've had my child when I was 38, and still 4 or 5 years later than most adults, right? I wanted to be in a place where I had the privilege of time for my child. I didn't want to have a child when I still had financial burdens on me, or I had career burdens on me, or I didn't feel. See, there's this concept of settling down where people just think that settling down means बच्चे शादी करके बच्चे कर लिए. No, I think settling down actually is a place where you can feel genuinely empowered in who you are and where you are in your life, and then you make decisions like marriage and children, because then you are like, okay, I can stand on my 2 feet, and now I feel like I'm ready to have to take care of other people. Once you take care of yourself, then you should take care of other people. वैसे जब हमको सिखाया जाता है वो उल्टा होता है कि आप सेटल मतलब होना कि आप जब आपके बीवी बच्चे हो गए, और in your case it's the opposite, that's when you are settled. So for me, I am at the place where when I had my child, I was able to take, for example, a 2.5 month paternity leave. I made sure that the paternity leave, actually for mandated paternity leave in our country by law, is 2 weeks.
What?
And
exactly.
maternal is
6 months.
6 months.
So it's 6 month maternity, 2 weeks paternity. First of all, I just feel like I don't even understand how any man can think badly of women when you've come from a woman.
Literally.
It's just bizarre to me, because the act of, it's so difficult to give birth, and just the fact that women do it is insane. So once you know that and have seen that, anything that comes after, is much easier for men. So let me start by saying that. Having said that, the time that women get mandated by law, it is so helpful for them to recover. It is so helpful for them to build a bond with their child. But when the same government or the same system tells that men actually should go back to work after 2 weeks, what it says to them is, actually your part in the raising of your child isn't that important. So you can actually go back to work. And what it also does is puts a double burden on the mum, saying now you've just given birth after keeping the child inside of you for 9 months, and now you only have to raise because your husband has to go and earn.
Correct.
So that paid paternity leave as concept does not exist. I did it because I have the privilege of my own company. I wanted to make sure we didn't have like a lot of millennial urban parents, because they're working professionals, etc. They take a lot of external help at the very beginning. That we want to have a guide, a japa or a support, nanny in the very first day. We didn't have anybody for the first 6 months. Like I wanted to make sure that I get to hold my child. I wanted to learn what it means to form a bond with my baby, to be able to put her to sleep, to learn why she cries, when she cries, what makes her stop, what are the stupid rhymes and songs that I will sing that will come to me, that will become the things that she remembers later. For me, I was very clear that I build my life in a way that my daughter is at the center of it and everything is around it, right? Because this whole idea of अब सब लोग लाइफ में क्या होता है कि काम होता है वगैरह वगैरह, वो काम लाइफ नहीं होती, काम होता है. और genuinely when you have a child, it's a choice you have made to put another human being into this world. If after that you still feel like the center of your life has to be your work, then I don't even understand that logic. Like why would you then bring a child? मत लाओ, क्यों ला रहे हो? अगर तुम्हें काम को इतना ही तुम्हारे important है. So for me it's very clear, my baby is my life, everything else is around it now. Every single thing. Does not matter what is happening. No crisis that is important enough. No brief is urgent enough. No meeting needs that kind of importance, and things that I don't want to look back later in my life and say,
that you regret.
हाँ ये मैं नहीं कर पाया क्योंकि ये हुआ वो. No. No excuses.
Amazing, honestly, because I think all of us have grown up seeing our dads as actually like financial support of the family.
Correct.
Like that's what society has only done, where like the mom takes care of the emotional side of the child and the dad pays for school and pays. And I get it, but honestly, I don't know. I don't think my dad knew till the 5th grade what division I was in, how old I was in what
Neither did
grade.
mine.
I'm seeing it even in our generation. People are not just having kids to have kids. People are only having kids when they know that they can take the responsibility of it's truly amazing to hear you speak about this.
My dad, my running joke was I used to come back from college for my summer vacations and I used to be like, which year am I in? And he would always guess wrong. Like, final year I have come back for the last time, I'm going to go to a job after. He knows that I've got a job. And be like, which year am I in? Second? 4 साल से मैं college में हूँ, पापा. That's just, and again, as I said, I don't begrudge it. I think the systems and I think patriarchal structures have worked in a way that they've just put very different burdens on all genders, and everybody has struggled to kind of figure their way out. And if I feel like, as somebody who has a little bit of understanding of all of this, if I'm not bringing that change, then who is? So I just want to add one more thing. So the one thing that of course I'm doing is just being a present father, but the second thing I'm doing it, which obviously as you also mentioned, I want to speak on the internet about how much I love my child. Like it is something that, और बहुत मुझे लोगों ने बोला है कि ऐसा मत कहा करो, नजर लग जाती है वगैरह वगैरह, and I just feel like यूएस में किसी को नजर नहीं लगती, अमेरिका में भी बच्चे होते हैं ना, वो लोग तो डालते हैं अपने डील्स, वहां पर कोई नजर नहीं लगती है, बस इंडिया में नजर लगती है लोगों की. So but more than that, I also feel like it is, नजर वजर को हटाकर भी मुझे सबसे बड़ी जो बात लगती है, I feel like I didn't see that growing up. I didn't see men speaking about how much they love their children. I didn't see men talking about how excited they are to have children, you know. There are so many beautiful, I mean, you have films about father and children bonds, but it's always a father protecting the child, or बच्चा kidnap हो गया तो बाप ने बचा लिया. It's
like
always again
stereotypes associated with what the mom does and what the dad does.
So I want to make it a normal thing. Like men should be able to talk about how much they love their children as excitedly as mothers do. And I am that excited, and I have a platform, so I want to talk about it. Until the day she grows up and tells me to stop, then I will stop.
She might.
She'll 100%. I know it. She will make me archive all the other things. She'll be like, nikalo sab.
Or she might just love it. And
I mean, if she loves it, that's great. But I know I know.
Okay, this is like really random. But what are like 3 dad cores you hate?
What I hate.
Or like you just don't want to do them now.
I mean, see, no matter how many times you change the... Okay, see, I'll also tell you my evolution as a dad, right? My evolution was that I was initially just so grateful and happy and joyous to have a child that even when they would poo and they would pee, I would always be like, I'm just getting this opportunity to do something for my baby, for another human being. So I was always like, Arey, kya kar rahi hai? But then when you do it for the 1050th time, you're just like, why do you have to poop so much? Why does it need to be in a diaper? When will you go old enough to recognize this is not something I should be doing? You know? So there is, and the thing is, our baby is also a very hygiene freak. So the moment she poops, she kind of looks at you being like, karo saaf. So she's crying me nahi, to she
get it done.
Yeah, she basically looks at you and I know. We know now. It's like not even code words. It's just a face which is just like, I've done it, now it's your job. And I'm like, okay, ma'am. And then I have to clean it. And I'm just like, how did this become the relationship? But yeah, that is, I would say, the top thing that kind of after a point of time stops becoming like a fun thing to do.
Cute or fun,
That it's just like,
and
ultimately
then when
it's
you
just poop.
start seeing her learning these things and doing it on your own, I think that time you'll feel differently.
Of course, I'll be so grateful not to have to clean poop again.
You know, I've had this thought for so long, but there's never the opportunity to talk about it. But you know how, but you know how, like in a marriage, it's always, now it's going to sound like a stereotype, but it's true, okay?
Tell me.
Like the man should take the trash out.
Sure.
he should take the garbage
Fair.
out, right? I also feel like the man should change the diapers of the baby. Like like a woman is just too
Like she's
to
already
change.
feeding the baby.
Yeah.
She's already giving her the
No.
maternal. Like,
Burping.
yeah.
But I'll also
Feeling.
tell you one thing that this may not be true for all couples and all mothers and all relationships. But my wife just loves every single thing that she gets to do with our baby, right? Like she doesn't sometimes let me come near her. Like I'm not. I've had a very serious conversation about this where where she's just like, this is my time. I'm like, you get all the time with her. You are. What is like? When is it going to be my time? So when she's like having like fun with her, and if I try to go, she's like, no, go away. I'm like, go away means what? I'm part of this. She wouldn't exist without me. What is this? You know, but this is how she just tells me off. She tells me off. That's why I feel like this girl is also now basically लेकर जाओ 1.5 बजे potty साफ करो. I'm like, and I have to really I was like, can you in front of her at least like include me and maybe show her like a couple of faces? Don't just tell me to go away and make it your thing with her. Because then she will think that I am like a extra in this kebab ki haddi in this relationship between a mother and daughter, and I'm just an extra person who gets to, as I said, Uber driver. So she also really enjoys this stuff.
Yeah.
Like giving her a bath, like, I think this is all, again, I don't want to stereotype it, but mums do seem to really enjoy dressing up their child, cleaning their
for
child,
sure.
nurturing their child,
I think this is the only time people should become parents, like when they are this dedicated to like being present and like not just out of pressure.
No, my big worry is, I hope that at no point are we overdoing it. So I have to also now I've also started becoming the dad who says no. So I started now saying things like, I started saying, and it's been such a switch for my baby. It's so funny.
And your wife would be laughing.
Yeah, because so typically it's my wife's been saying no from day one.
Yeah.
She's basically been like, she started only saying no.
I think moms are like that since the start.
Yeah.
वो पहले बचपन मतलब literally day one से no. ठीक है, and I've been like, yes, everything is great. जो तुम बोलोगी कर लूँगा मैं तो. This is what I exist for now, to service you. But now I've realized that I've also like, she's also taking me for granted a little bit. I have to exert my boundary.
What did you learn from your baby? Like,
I mean, I think
everything.
she's just, it's same. I think everything, right? Like, see, I think the thing that you learn most from your child is just the abandonment with which they are able to live in that moment, right? Like when they are playing with their toys, that is the only thing in this world that exists for them. Nothing else exists. That is the most important thing in the world. When she is walking, every second of that walk is joy for her. I am getting to walk, I am getting to play a toy. I am getting, like, she loves going on drives. When she's in the car, she's just constantly just looking at the world around, and I just look at her looking at the world, and it's like, it's just the wonder in her eyes. She's looking at everything with awe. She's like, there's buildings and there's greenery, and greenery Bombay mein to hai nahi, but आधा time तो traffic में दिखती रहती है कि बाकी गाड़ियाँ. And I don't know how relatable this is for you.
It is
extremely.
I don't think they're ever in the moment. Like, never. Like, we have to tell ourselves that let's switch off. Let's keep the phone away. Let's just be where we are.
Social. I mean, it's also like a digital issue.
Thing.
No, it's, I mean, overall, I think digital.
Everyone is addicted to social media. But I remember actually, my yoga teacher had told me this in the 10th grade in school. I took yoga as my 6th subject. This is so random. But my yoga teacher had told us this in school, and she was like, just once when you're sitting in the car or you're sitting in the bus on your way back home, just don't listen to music. Don't use your phone. Like, sometimes you feel like you're looking out, but you're listening to music. You're like preoccupied. And she told us, just look out of the window and like shut your brain off and just see everything that's around you. And this comes to me every time I sit in any sort of transport, whether it's a car or a bus or a train or anything. This is the first thing I always think of, even when I sit on flight. I always look out to see what's around me. Like, random things that people say that stick with you. And it's so true that we are all so involved in everything that it's just normalized for us. Like a drive is normalized, or like a meal is normalized, but it's like the greatest thing.
I think that's what you learn from your child. Their life is beautiful.
Yeah.
Really, it's really as simple as that. That's what your child teaches you. Life is beautiful. We are, human beings. The fact that we get to be alive on this planet, we get to have legs, and we get to have a mouth, and we get to listen to sounds, and we get to see beautiful things. उसके ऊपर क्या, दैट इज द ट्रू प्रिविलेज, उसके ऊपर क्या ही है, और तुम्हारी सारी जो हमारी प्रॉब्लम्स हैं इतनी छोटी लगती है ना. सो आई थिंक दैट्स वेयर, एंड यू नो ऑनेस्टली आई फील लाइक I'm still guilty of a lot of the things that we speak about. Like now when I come back from office, because now we're all just digital addicts and phone addicts, at some point in time the phone comes out and I start scrolling while she's playing, right? And then I'm almost snapped back to attention when she says Papa, and it's almost like it breaks through your this zoning out that you are in.
Since we're on this topic of like basically being in the moment, let's talk about a generation that's absolutely never in the moment.
Sure.
Gen Zs.
Sure. I thought you were talking Millennials, but sure, Gen Zs as well.
I think Gen Zs, because we've also like grown up with technology. I mean, maybe since we were 8 or 10 or something like that. But I can't imagine my life without a device. But also at the same time, don't you think that Gen Zs are so skilled at...
Yes, I literally started a company called Yuva that hires skilled and gives them skills as well. I've always had a lot of faith in young people showing us the way. What I feel that young people just need to be aware of is how much of the parts of your lives that you are leading may not necessarily be decided by you. It is actually, a lot of it is being decided by tech billionaires who are making sure that they push you into a certain space that you may not necessarily want to go to.
Very true. I've been feeling this a lot recently.
How much of what you're doing is your choice, and how much of what you're doing is you're doing because it seems like everything on the algorithm is telling you to, or everybody around is saying so, or everything on the internet seems to be wired towards that. If you are making those decisions basis your understanding and basis your own agency, then it's great. If not, that is the only thing I think young people need to be aware of. Everything else, I feel like I'm very hopeful for the generation.
I
love that.
Very much.
Honestly, this
Extremely. Too hopeful. That's also because I'm like hopeless about old people. So let me also say that I genuinely have zero hope with old people. I just really, like, they've ruined our planet. They've ruined every single thing that exists in this universe, and they are after more, so like, down with old people. Except for the people I love.
Honestly, we've got a lot of feedback that's quite opposite of what you said. Like, a lot of people think that Gen Zs are actually quite rebellious and disrespectful.
Who's saying all this? You tell me.
We'll tell you of the call. But honestly, people think that we're very, ungrateful, disrespectful, stuff like that. So it's actually...
Do you feel that?
I feel like it's all about the people you surround yourself with. Obviously, there's different type of people in every generation. Like, it's hard to just generalize and say this entire generation is like that. But I genuinely feel like if you surround yourself with the right people, there are very respectful Gen Zs. There are Gen Zs that are very decisive. They know what to do. They know how to go about their life. In fact, they start off very young. Like, they start working really early in life. But it's just like, what people see is what you choose to see in the other person. Like, sometimes when you start off young, you need to be a little, maybe a little stubborn or a little set in your ways to just make it happen or not let anyone derail you, But sometimes people take that as maybe being disrespectful or not understanding the industry or not understanding work. So I think it just depends on how you
because I
perceive
think even when we started off, we were very young, and people always...
You still are very young.
Yeah, we are
Stop
young.
Keep saying you were.
There's
no past tense to your youth.
When we were younger...
We were very young. Like, wow,
when we were like so young.
When we were like 19.
That time people always took us for a ride. Like, they thought that we won't realize, we don't know what's happening. But I think we are so well versed with the internet, and we keep watching so much, learning so much, that we know what you're trying to do.
It makes you hyper aware.
I'll just become serious for a minute. It is always any relationship in this world, and this is true for literally, I kid you not, literally every relationship, there is a power dynamic. And either you are choosing to showcase your power, or you're trying to kind of hide your power, and that is the only, or you're ceding power or you're taking power. It's always like that. Okay, and the relationships, like love is a relationship where ideally you should just cede, both people should cede power and be like, you take the power and the other person, that true best, I mean, honestly, like the best love stories are when both people are like, you take power, no, you take power, no, you take power, no. And that is where it's so amazing, right? Exactly. And then the worst is when both have power, and that's where it just becomes like, no, I have the power and I have the power, that's eco battle. And unfortunately, the most common ones are where, one person, and which is mostly the patriarchal figure, has the power. So, most of our life is trying to understand these power structures, and then trying to find where we fit within them, and then trying to learn how to be powerful yourself so that you can push back. And that is, and it's across. It is in every relationship. It's in every place. No matter how old you're gonna get, when you actually get old, you will still realize that even at like 39 right now, there are places and positions that I'm put into. I might be working on a very different kind of a deal than you all are. But in those deals also, there's always, like, when there are people with a certain kind of money, a certain kind of influence, a certain kind of power, they will always try to kind of get you to be a place. Now, they call it negotiation. Or they may call it like, oh, this is just how business works, right? But you need to, which is where every young person, I feel like that awareness that I was talking about needs to come right at the, and you cannot also be hard on yourself, right? Because you can't know what you don't know. That is the most important thing that you have to also get comfortable in. It's okay to not know things sometimes, but as long as you get to a place where you're aware about what you don't know, you need to know what you don't know so that you can learn that. And that has to be, I think, our whole lives funda has to be just being comfortable with saying that ye mujhe nahi pata, so I'm going to find the right people who will help me, guide me with this understanding.
No, honestly, this was very helpful for us.
Welcome.
Life tips.
We are learning, we are feeling emotional on this pod, feeling happy, everything.
Same. Very, all same to same.
As a millennial, like, what are things that Gen Zs do that ick you out?
Oh.
Gen Zs are always giving icks about millennials.
So it's your time to just do it. This is your
How
moment.
do I not make it personal about the people working in my office?
They won't feel bad.
I'm sure they won't, because I can basically be like, I don't like this and this person, and I'm just trying to think, is it the whole Gen Z, or is it just this person in my office? I think Gen Zs can be a little more compassionate towards millennials. I genuinely feel
that's true.
They can have a little bit more decency.
Yeah,
you're right.
In being like, कि तुम चलो ठीक है. I'm not saying have decency on age. तजुर्बा थोड़ा ज़्यादा है, experience थोड़ा ज़्यादा है, थोड़ी ज़्यादा दुनिया देखी है, थोड़ा तो दिखा दो कि हाँ यार तुमको कुछ तो पता होगा. Like
sorry, Karthik.
A lot of the times I feel like I've tried to convince so many Gen Zs that the reason that I may be saying something is because I have spent 20 years learning it. Okay? And it's not just coming from like thin air, some tukka from the back of my mind. And I really appreciate when young people have these strong opinions. I also feel like young people should recognize that some of the older folks who are not just asking you to trust them because vibes, but who, if they actually have experience or skills, थोड़ा इज्जत देना उनको allowed होना चाहिए.
Fair.
थोड़ी सी इज्जत दे दो, millennials को उनको भी अच्छा लगेगा. हम भी, it will be symbiotic relationship. We will give you izzat, you give us izzat, and it will be like a really nice,
agreed,
izzatful world that we live in. So that I would say is my only, I would say, ick is that I feel like thoda kami izzat dete hain Gen Z millennials ko. The other thing, which is, I don't think it's a hot take, but I feel like it's something that I've started saying a little bit more in a very well-meaning take. This is not a boomer take, it's not a hot take, it's a very well-meaning thing. It's something Vishnu Kaushal actually said to me on a podcast that I was hosting, where he said that, we keep saying it's okay to not be okay. It's important to now recognize that it's okay to be okay. Like, I feel like that is something that a lot of young people have missed the complete point of, which is that initially there was a conversation around mental health कि यार कोई बात नहीं कर रहा. अब लग रहा है कि सब इतनी बात कर रहे हैं in a certain bubble that अब सभी चीज mental health ही हो गई है. Everything has become, oh, this is because I was in bad mental health. No, just it is probably because you were lazy. It is also probably because you were, not
procrastinating or not following.
Maybe because you were not. Maybe it is actually. So I feel like after a point of time, you can't use your mental health as a crutch to not work on your mental health.
True.
Yeah.
And I think that is what is I see happening in a lot of young folks. I wouldn't say a lot of young folks, but some young folks for sure, where mental health has now become an excuse to not wanting to get better in your life, in your career, in your relationships with people. Because it's almost like, oh, you know, I am like this, and that is why you have to deal with it. You know, oh, I have this thing, so it's not my problem if it comes out on you. It is your problem. If you have the awareness, just because you have the awareness that you have some issue, does not mean that you don't work on fixing it.
Very true.
That awareness, just because you have a disclaimer, does not mean you get to be excused for your behavior. Your disclaimer should also include therapy, should also have an actionable step after it. Your work does not stop in therapy. It doesn't stop in that 1 hour you're going to a therapist. It has to continue in your life afterwards. Otherwise, it's not work. It's just self-validation where you're feeling good कि मैं अच्छा therapist के सामने जाके बैठ गया, उसने मेरे से मैंने बात कर ली, उसने identify कर लिया, and that's it. I just need that identification, and I'll throw it at all of you and say, देखो मुझे ये है. So this
I think after everything you're saying, Kanchi and I are looking at each other like, yes, what? Because we've had so many conversations related to all of these things, and it's like you've decoded all the problems in our mind, and you've given us a solution. Like this is why.
Like you've
you should
unlocked.
just call me on every episode, and then you finish the conversation, and then I will
We
be
are
like
going
a
to be calling
judge.
you in life now.
I'll be judge,
we have
and I can.
unlocked some part of our brain.
Amazing. I'm also happy to say things that are disagreeable. You tell me like what do you want to me? What I want to impress cool young people. I will say whatever it takes.
You've already
Cool
impressed.
young people have already been impressed by what you've been saying.
And you are also cool and young. You know, I feel like you think you're old.
I don't think so.
You're going
My
to
body
say,
keeps reminding me.
No,
I have knee pain.
Loki, you know what? Even I have knee pain in my left knee. What? I'm telling you, I have gut issues. It's not an age thing. It's a mind thing.
Really?
Whoa, Riyaz.
I should tell that to my therapist. Because she keeps saying that she literally told me today, I'm sorry if she's seeing this. She literally told me today, Nikhil, you do realize you're not 20 anymore. I was like, don't say that.
You are.
Yeah, exactly. In my mind, I am.
I'm also saying this because I want a few people to tell me I'm 15 or 18 or something. So
I already said that you're literally like the youngest.
What is something you feel like Gen Zs have gotten wrong about relationships? Because you know that a lot of Gen Zs are like big on situationships and zero commitment. Okay, hot take.
Yes.
I'll give you a hot take.
Please. I love hot takes. Anytime someone has a hot take, I'm like, batao. Kuch interesting milega.
People think that Gen Zs are like low on commitment in relationships. I think that there's two types of Gen Zs.
Okay.
One side is ready for marriage by 24, 25. They know who they want to be with.
I agree.
They've been dating for like 5-8 years.
I swear to you, I have the same take. I'm not even joking.
You continue.
No, finish the take.
I want you to complete what's going on in my mind. And
Literally the same take. I swear to you, I'm not even joking. I literally said this to somebody else. I was talking to some, unfortunately, these are the kind of conversations I've had brand managers. I was talking to someone who was like some dating app ka manager, etc. And I was literally saying this. I was like, they were like trying to understand what is their take on love and relationship. I was really saying this. I was like, I see the same thing also. I see either you have early commitment,
yes,
you get married and commit forever at like 22, 23, 24, 25 with people you've been since 14, 15.
Yes.
Or you go the other way where you are just not able to find and commit to anybody.
Yeah,
correct.
And you are 35 and you're still trying to be on apps and trying to look for somebody. And it's literally the two things.
There's no in between.
There is no in between. I'm not
seen anyone in between.
Yeah, and honestly, all of my friends also have been in relationships now for 5 years, 8 years,
Pretty
10
much.
years, and it's so normalized. Like,
Pretty
if someone
much.
says they're dating for 6 months, I'm like, oh, okay, that's random. Like, I haven't This is, why do you think it's like this?
See, I feel like, so there's a paradox of choice. Okay, so there is this concept where basically you would imagine that if you have more choice, it's easier to make a decision, right?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, when you have too much choice, you actually get overwhelmed with that choice and you end up making first decisions. And that is really the paradox of choice, you know. If you have 3 things in front of you, and if you choose one, you're only thinking that, acha, ye do, theek hai, I've taken a call, these 2 I don't want to go with, this one I want to go with. But the moment you have access to 10 things, the moment you have access to 100 things, 1000 things, all of dating, all of relationships, everything in our has been it's all on dopamine hits. So when your dopamine stops, the first second you have a problem, unfortunately you're just thinking of bailing, because in your head you are like, I have another one. There's another one waiting. There's something better out there. There's something better out there. So the fact is that, if I have realized, and realized because at least we didn't even have a real choice in that sense, right? Like we were just, how did millennials date? आसपास कौन है?
very
it was
true.
really, right?
Yeah.
It was like, ये मेरी boundary है, इस boundary में कौन है options?
Yeah.
So either you went to the first person and if it worked great, or you went to the 10th person with 9 reject you, there's only one left and that's the one.
Yeah.
And that is just how it worked, right? But now with when your entire box, or the bucket from where you're choosing is the entire universe. Like literally, when I hear from people that there is, I've obviously never been on dating apps, but when I hear that dating apps, there is I think there's choice and distances, and you can choose from sometimes other cities.
You can.
Correct. I'm just like, तुम कहीं से भी इतना ऑप्शन तुम्हारे पास, तुम बॉम्बे ही नहीं, तुम नवी मुंबई भी नहीं, तुम पुणे से भी चूज कर सकते हो.
But can you be in Bombay and choose from Pune?
I don't know. I've never used it.
I think you need to be
In that place.
proximity.
Whatever. I'm saying, that the fact is
the
that
reach is insane.
Conversation about love and dating has also become so. I think the only hot take would be that I think it's great that young people are understanding concepts like green flags and red flags, etc. But reducing human beings only to flags is also a red flag. Okay, I just feel like you can't just look at human beings and say, इसके 5 green flag है, 6 red flag है, इसलिए I will find the next person who will have 7 green flags and 3 red flags. That's not how it works. I would say, if you find somebody's company amazing, if I would say 60 to 70% of the time you are really enjoying being with them. And I would say only 60 to 70, because we are all human beings, and 30% of times you are going to they will have a shit day, you will have a shit day, both of you will have a shit day together, and it will not be a good situation. But if 60 to 70% of the time you're having a good time, be with that person, stick it out with them, because there is, we've had to burst fights at 20 years. Obviously we've had some terrible fights. We've said things to each other which we still find it difficult to take back. We have when we were in a relationship, we used to kind of break up every once a while and then again come back and break up and come back, etc. My wife, till I would say 2 years ago, still used to block me on Instagram. While we are married, she would get into a fight and block me, and I was like, we are married, why are you blocking me? She's blocked me on WhatsApp sometimes, and I'm like, this is bizarre. But she's
love your wife.
Yeah, she just does these things. I'm like, you can't do that.
That's where your daughter gets it.
Pretty much. She's 100%. The badassness is all my wife. It's genuinely she's who it is. So, but we've been together, so again, when you're together 20 years, you're actually ultimately your relationship becomes a lot more I don't know, in many ways siblings than it is married couples, where you kind of fighting also in a very comical way. And it's always where you do things like, I will take that phone, no, I will take it, no, I'll take it. And that is the level of fights now you're having. Because all the big to ho chuki hai. So badi fights hoकर khatam ho chuki hai. So abhi to choti fights hi bachi hai, and that's what also makes it entertaining. The last thing I'll say on this, I think that concept of love that we kind of keep thinking about ourselves, right, is that love is, when you are with one person, it gets boring because you're just with one person. My hot take, or my take on this is, you're never just with one person. At every phase of their life, they're changing. You are actually, in 20 years, I've been with 10, 12 different versions of my wife. She's been with 10, 12 different versions of me. When I have had a big day at work, it's been a different version. When I've had a tough time in my life, it's been a different version. When I've been in a different city, it's a different version. When I'm in a different career, it's a different version. When I'm a father, it's a different version. She's constantly meeting new versions of me, and I'm constantly meeting new versions of her. You are not with the same person. You are with so many different people in the same person. So it doesn't get boring. You kind of, in your head, you think it's boring married life. Married life is not boring. It is extremely interesting. It is entertaining. You just have to stick it out.
Yeah.
Of course, if the person is toxic, and when I say in conventional terms, if that person is an asshole to you, if that person is not kind to you, if that person, takes advantage of you in some way, hits you, all of these things, of course, are strict no-nos.
Yeah.
But I'm saying besides that and beyond that, don't run away at the first in your head because you have a checklist of अरे ये 6 green flag है ये
Yeah.
और ये 8 red flag है अगर इनमें से red flag आ गया और green flag कम मिला वगैरह वगैरह, it'll change every day. There'll be days where you will be a red flag as well.
Yeah, it's true.
And there'll be days that
They will be.
they will be a red flag, and you need to recognize that you are also a human being. This is my monologue on love.
Yeah, I love this. And honestly, everyone has red flags.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think, like, if you're happy with someone and it's going well and all, that one red flag shouldn't be something that you break off a really nice relationship for. I think you should work on it. And, like, if you're self-aware that you have this red flag or you're doing something wrong and you really like the person, I think you can actually make it work. Like, everyone has red flags.
Very
It's
true.
so normal.
And now, I mean, I'm just saying people are so progressive right now. If you're very clear about what you want, now there are open relationships.
Yeah.
Now there are all kinds of different, there's all kinds of, you can find meaning, you can find whatever it is that you're looking for, as long as you're doing it with consent.
Okay, so something else we really wanted to talk to you about,
Yes.
okay, now that we've covered relationships,
Yeah.
is friendships.
Let's go.
Because our whole podcast is built on a very strong female friendship. And I think honestly it's been such a ride working together because
Yeah.
when you're best friends first and then you're working together and suddenly money is involved and
Yeah, you
these
learn a
different-
lot about each other.
You genuinely
What
like
did you learn?
my work
Very,
life and-
like sometimes I just know like something's happening, something's going to go wrong, and this is going to trigger Ria, and I'll just take care of it.
Yeah.
Like I'll just like reply on the group or
Are you willing
not
to
let her.
share tea?
off camera.
got it.
Off camera. But
Yeah,
we
and like sometimes I'm not able to say something, and Ria knows what I want, and she'll say it on my behalf.
the bad cop, good
Yeah,
cop.
yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Like that.
So I think it's like I think female friendships we talk about a lot in our podcast. Like it's a very like standing topic on this podcast. Whichever
Yeah.
girl comes, we always
Yes.
talk about friendships. So you tell us, what do you
Yes.
think about strong male friendships and honestly also like
Male to female friendships.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have one best friend in my life, which is my wife for the last 20 years, right?
Yes.
She's been my ride or die for 20 years. So everything that I have almost, and I'll be very honest, if you actually have someone you married to who is your friend, and I think all marriages that last ultimately are built on friendship. So
Yeah.
that's what I anyway think, right? You don't necessarily seek out deeper friendships outside. Like it's great when you have them, but you are also really happy to come back home and hang with your partner. And I also like really hope that my child is also our best friend. Like she's our little bestie, right? That's what you're hoping for. Having said that, my deepest friendships outside of my wife have also been female friendships. My best friend from school is someone again been friends with now for 24 years, 25 years. She's the godmother for a baby now, so like that's the relationship that I've carried till here. I've also had many male friendships in my life, but the thing is that I feel like my female friendships have always kind of lasted a little longer than my male friendships because I'm also a little bit of an emotional human being. This is something I've never probably said anywhere, but I feel like I want to give a shout out to my school bestie. Her name is Neha. So I lost my dad last year, and he was in Bahrain, and she's my friend from school. So both of us went to school together in Bahrain, and I was obviously heartbroken. I was completely shattered. And a bunch of my male friends, were very kind. They were very sweet. Friends that I've not spoken to very long. They just kept calling and making, sure that I was okay. And that is, I value those friendships a lot, right? Neha just took a flight and came. She lives in New York. She came like on a day's notice. She didn't even tell me. She just told my mom that I'm going to be there. And 24 hours later, she was there. She was at the funeral. And I'm just like, I mean, this is what female friendships are, right? For me in my life, this is what, when you have a female best friend in life, this is what you get. You literally get someone who is there for you. She is going to be present for you. She's going to turn up. She's going to show up. And I'm not saying men don't do this, but I also feel like men have that one barrier in their head when it comes to sometimes, especially the emotional parts, that they will be there with you. They will show their support, but they may not necessarily know the difference between showing support and showing up.
Yeah.
You know, that this is one of those days that I kind of probably just needed someone, because Bahrain, all my friends are in India, right? So I didn't really necessarily have support over there. You know, my mom still had a community over here, huge community. And I just didn't, and I was there day in and day out with my father in the hospital. And just when she turned up, she was there for about 5-7 days. I couldn't have done it if she wasn't around, you know. So I really want to kind of, this is what female friendships are for me. When it comes to male friendships, I will say that, you know, I've been again very blessed with having great male friends along the way. I feel like I have rediscovered male friendships after my show, where earlier my disconnect from my male friendships would be because we wouldn't really get into the emotional. And I think once you start getting older in life, a lot more emotional things start happening to you. You go through a lot more tough phases. You know, it's always great to have friends in the good times, you know, but it's hard to find who to talk to in your tough times. And again, there are friends who've always messaged or texted and been around, but again, they're just showing up part of it, right? And after I started doing Be a Man Yaar, I felt like I started realizing after that show that maybe the onus of vulnerability or the onus of showing up should not just be on my friend. It should also be on me to express to them that this is what I need. Maybe like Neha, my best friend, did not need me to say it. She just showed up. Maybe the other male friends of my life probably needed me to say it, and they would have been there. I don't doubt it at all. If I would have said I need you, they would have showed up. It's just that I didn't say, and they didn't offer, because it's just one of those things you don't talk about. So I think that is, I mean, I know it's a very serious topic to explain, but this is what I feel the difference between male and female friendships is. But what I'm trying to do often now with my male friends is I'm trying to get them emotional. Like not like I'm putting traumas on them, but I'm trying to ensure that there is, I get them to that side of vulnerability, because I know it's all, inside all men, they just don't know how to reach it. If I know how to reach it, maybe it is incumbent on me to get them there. So as an example, I am, if somebody asks me, my male friend asks me, how are you? I won't just say I'm good. If I'm going through something at that time, I will literally write it out. And then they just are like,
okay, they was not expecting that.
And I've had men in my lives who met me like after the text message or something and just met me, who've been like, you know, I didn't expect you to share that with me. I'm like, why not? Because we don't share these things with each other. But because I've started sharing, those men have started sharing it back with me. And I feel my life is richer because of that. Now, this is all serious stuff, but I'll also say in the most silliest manner, and not silly, I think this is also really meaningful. Like I force all my male friends to say, I love you back to me. This is a thing that I do, and I'm not going to stop, and it is going to continue with every man that I love. You have to say, I love you back to me. I will not have it any other way. I will say, I love you at the end of a message. And if they say, you too, or me too, or same, or LY, I will call them out for that bullshit. I'll be like, that's not enough. Say the words. Why is it so hard to say, I love you? Why can you not say that? It's like such an awkward thing for men to kind of say, I love you too. Or I love you too, brother. No, brother. Just I love you. I know you're my brother. So
there's nothing to say.
So and you know, I just feel like that expressiveness, once you start, you kind of start recognizing there's so much more you can say. That it starts at I love you, but then it kind of goes to I miss you. Then it kind of goes to like, you know, sometimes I miss my dad that he's not around. It goes to like, you know, I'm having a tough time and, you know, we should catch up. Just those things become easier when it starts with an I love you. So it's not that I'm just forcing people to, you know, confess their love for me, which I know very well, even if you didn't say it. But I feel like there's a lot more to it. So
Yeah, it somewhat creates like a safe space. Like it's the base of like a comfortable space for them to speak about anything they feel. Very true. So we actually were thinking about something that happens in like relationships, right? Girlfriends usually set like boundaries maybe for their boyfriends, right? They'll be like, oh, I don't want you to have a lot of female friends, or like I'm
don't be
not
friends with
comfortable
her,
with
or
yeah,
like,
like this makes me uncomfortable and that makes me uncomfortable and stuff like that. So and I've also heard the flip side to it where like people are like, if my boyfriend has female friends and I know that he knows how to treat women well, or he knows how to keep friendships, and like, you know, he's not only looking at women in one way, right? So like, how do you think like these boundaries or these things should be communicated with your partner where they can have healthy friendships and they can...
See, I'm sorry, मेरे दिमाग में एक बिल्कुल ही उल्टी चीज आ रही है. You ask a serious question. When you ask a fun question, I get serious answer. You ask me a serious question, मेरे दिमाग में पता क्या आ रहा है? You know what my wife does? My wife is the other level of, like, I don't know, with all love to her. She's a different level of cookie when it comes to this, right?
Why?
Where she basically, with the female friend in my life, she basically, whenever I have a healthy friendship, she'll just be like, you know, I love this friend of yours. When I die, you can marry her. And I'm like, what? So in her head, she's already made a backup list for me and she's given approval in order of preference that if she dies,
this is
1, 2, 3, 4 in this order.
What?
Yeah, so she's when I'm like,
this is like,
first of all, you're not dying.
yeah.
Just please stay alive. Second of all, I'm not gonna, please just like, please
She's
don't.
secure to another level.
Level of chill. Like,
On the other hand, but again, I want to tell you because this is a security and her insecurities come across when female fans come to me on the road. And it is so funny. It is
like,
so
why
funny.
is she your fan?
So so there is like, we were in Bangalore recently with our baby and I was taking like their pictures. Someone passing by just stopped and is like, I love your show. Oh my God. And Daisy's like, he's with his wife. I'm like, that's fine. She's like, yeah, of course, I understand.
Girls like get attracted to girl dads. Like when they look at a girl dad, they would be like, oh, like they want that in their life. They want the dad to be that. Like,
yeah, but that's
present for the
let me
kid.
just tell you, it's also very conceptual. You like them while they are a girl dad with a great family, and if they would leave that, they would also suddenly become unattractive.
Very true, very
So
true.
it's like, it's all conceptual, and in conceptual, I'm very happy if girls like me. I'm happy when men like me also, girls like me also, everybody likes me. I don't have a problem. Daisy may. My wife may have a problem because she's done that now 3-4 times where I've basically like, tu Reddit pe aa jayegi. Please stop doing this.
But do you think it's valid for her to have a problem? Do you feel it's fair?
I mean, I have tried explaining this to her. Very like, I've basically sat her down and said, listen, this is what I have kind of earned, right? They're not coming in like throwing themselves at me.
They're not hitting on you, they're appreciating you.
They're just coming and saying that, I love you. So to be honest, it's not only when it's female fans, even when men come, she's like, she finds a way to be like, we are getting late. I'm like, he just came to say, I like your show. Sorry, we are getting late. Sorry, our child is here. I was like, what is she? She did not even ask for a picture. She's immediately like, go away. This is my time. And I'm like, I get it, you know, of course it is our time and I value, obviously, this is nothing more important in my life than our time together. But like, I feel like it's okay if someone gives you a compliment in public. It's a sweet thing. And I feel like, you know, I've earned it. I've worked really hard in my life for people to appreciate me. You know, for appreciate not only because like, I've put in the work, you know, I'm like about to be 40. अब तो मुझे लोग आके अच्छी चीजें बोल रहे हैं, बोलने दो ना यार, 2 मिनट का मुझे मिल जाता है. It's like cheap thrills.
And it feels very rewarding when someone tells you like
and
that.
you know, and the thing is, you know, fortunately with something like Be a Man, yaar, people are not just coming and saying like, you know, like, you are a cool person. They're coming and genuinely saying things like, that episode moved me, that I had a conversation. I literally, someone came and told me that, you know, I watched this episode with my dad and made our relationship better. And I'm like, when you hear things like that, then you're like, it's such a beautiful and major reward. So I'm just, and दूसरा मैं वही कहता हूँ, एक तो one, it is rewarding. Second, I'm like, please, I don't want to end up on Reddit because like if it becomes a pattern where every time anybody meets me with you, they'll be like, "Arey, there is
this one is
his wife is very rude."
Yeah.
I'm like, and anyway, but she's her own person.
I will feel the same way about the pod.
Yeah.
Whenever
I don't even know what the
anyone
question
talks
was. The
about
moment you said like insecurity boundary, I was like, oh
It's
my
okay.
god, it's so different
Like-
in my life. This is not even my problem. It's a very different
I
problem.
think we need a game.
we need a game.
Let's have
Okay,
a game
so
now.
this is a very like fun game where we have
Let's
like some
go.
situations. We're gonna read them out to you,
Please.
and you basically are gonna react like a Gen Z, and we are gonna react like a millennial.
What does react like a Gen Z mean?
Like you respond to it like
Like
a Gen Z.
you have to respond to the situation like a Gen Z would respond to
to
it.
that situation.
And we would respond to the situation.
Like I say, clock it.
Like no, whatever.
What do I say?
No, like what a Gen Z would do that.
Oh,
time.
what would I-
Like
okay,
they are like
yeah.
situations.
Okay.
Someone hard launches their relationship on Instagram.
What a Gen Z would do.
Yeah. How would a Gen Z react?
They would type slay.
I think a millennial would be like, what's the need to hard launch?
What's
like,
the need to
what's the
post?
need to post about your partner?
This is too
like
much.
everyone knows about it. पूरी दुनिया को क्यों बताना है?
Yeah.
सबको तो पता
Gen
है.
Zs are making couple reels right now, going to Vietnam and saying, look at us, you know, we are hanging together as a couple. Gen Z, I mean, millennial people have also discovered the internet much
Yeah.
later than the Gen Z creators at a much later age, and they are very much making cringe content on it. So I don't think they're in any position to judge Gen Z situationships, relationships,
Good to
etc.,
know. Good to know, because the whole point of this game is to understand our misconceptions
Yeah.
about the
Yeah.
We love
Gen Z
it.
and millennials.
Yeah.
So cool. Okay. Okay. Someone posts a birthday story for themselves.
Oh, what does a Gen Z say to this? Cringe?
Yes,
Yes.
queen.
Yes.
Love that. No, I am on
Cringe.
his side. I would be like
Stop.
cringe. Why would you why would you wish yourself?
No, like how they put
Why
a story
call-
and they're like 24 with a crown.
No, that's
cute.
That's aesthetic, but not when someone's like, happy birthday to me.
Oh, happy birthday.
See, that's what I took away.
Happy
Yeah.
birthday to me. Okay, yeah, that is
Yeah,
cringe,
I
that
think a
is cringe.
millennial would be like, you do you. Yeah.
You know what? I'll tell you what a millennial does. As a millennial, basically, you put, because nobody knows it's your birthday,
You
right?
want people to wish you.
No, yeah, you want people to wish you. So you put like one किसी ने repost, किसी ने एक repost डाल दो, ताकि पता चल जाए. And then सब पे pressure आ जाए कि
And
एक
then
ने डाल
everyone keep
दिया.
posting.
Yeah.
My mom
I
and her
am that
friends do
person.
this.
I am that person. Or
that
on my
person.
birthday, I will put a repost so that then जिस चीज को डालना है डाल लो, और फिर मैं हर 3 घंटे में ना 10 डाल दूंगा ताकि बाकियों पे प्रेशर आए कि 10 ने डाल दिया है,
Everyone
तुम
needs
क्या
to
कर रहे
wish,
हो.
yeah.
एक दिन तो सेलिब्रेट करने को मिलता है. You get to celebrate me one day of the year. Now you do your job.
I think but
Put your
now-
story. Where is your story?
You know what cool
I have
Gen
to make
Zs
a
do
list
now?
about all the people
I
who
was
not put
literally going to
stories.
say that. You know what Gen Zs do
He
now?
makes a list of who doesn't put stories.
I get
for his
very like I
birthday.
get very
That's
personal.
so
Like how
millennial.
dare they not put the story right
I
now?
would not even remember.
I would not.
I would
remember. But the cool Gen Zs nowadays do not repost.
If you repost, it's you're not cool.
Oh no.
I repost though. So
Even I
I am
repost.
uncool.
But
Yeah,
I
I'm
don't want to
uncool.
repost like 20 stories on my birthday. Like I don't want it to
55 at least for me.
55 at least.
Ideally 100.
Oh god.
I
We
don't want
have
everyone.
to take a picture today so we can post it on his birthday, because if we
We'll feel
don't,
bad.
14th
we're on his
August.
blacklist.
I'm anyway turning 40. I want at least
it's a
like
big birthday.
400 people to say like you're cool and young, so that I feel
Done.
validated.
No, we will wish you from the pod, so you feel
Yes.
cool.
That's
the
the
pod
way.
thinks
That is the way. Although I have gone the other way, where I'm now, you know, on birthdays I basically send like really personal messages because I'm like, I don't want to do like things like just share a
Yeah.
story. I want to say something personal.
Honestly, I'm okay if someone posts a story, but they should message me or call me first,
Yes.
and then they should post the
Oh.
story.
Same.
That's how it works in my head.
No, वो कॉल करता मुझे करता मैं नहीं क्यों
Call नहीं,
मैं
but
क्यों आज
message.
अपने बर्थडे पे तुमसे बात
Text
करूँ
me.
मैं मुझे नहीं करनी.
Don't wish me through stories.
So fair enough. I mean, I appreciate, you know, texts and
Yeah.
DMs, etc. But anybody calls me, I'm just like, why do you think
I lie.
I need to talk to you on my birthday? It's my birthday.
Yes. Please
So
say
why
it
should I make
louder.
it about you?
Do not call me on my birthday.
Yeah,
You
don't
don't call Kanchi on any day. She
Yeah.
won't like it ever.
Almost same. Honestly. Same, bro.
Us.
Us. Okay, sharing your location with your partner.
Gen Zs would say, same, bro. Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
It's correct, na?
Gen Zs would be okay with sharing
chill,
their
yeah.
location.
It's
like
chill.
you're being open about it.
Yeah.
Sia is saying no.
Oh no.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, na? Huh,
Because she's more Gen Z,
Yeah.
so we sometimes ask.
Yeah.
But millennials,
Millennials.
like, why do you need to know where I am all the time?
Or is it a little extra?
No,
for
millennials
to
जब बुढ़े
share
हो रहे हैं तो डर लगता है कि कहीं किसी खड्डे वड्डे में ना गिर गए. So they are just like, please safety के लिए बताओ तो तुम कहाँ पर हो. Really, like millennials अभी भरोसा नहीं रहता है partners को. तुम घर आओगे ना, बताओ मुझे कहाँ पर हो. It's not even, it's really just a safety issue.
Fair.
Because तुम लोग तो मतलब I would imagine at when you are that young, you are just like, you can party in the night and hold your liquor.
Yeah.
Like most millennials एक दारू पी ली और एक
In fact, yeah, I think we're having the same thoughts at the same time.
Yeah.
I think millennials are better drinkers than Gen Zs.
Gen Zs are no longer drinking, by the way.
that I've heard.
And they're really not.
But
Yeah.
I've seen millennials pass out on roads, so I am really happy if you're not.
Yeah.
So I think with millennials it's mostly a safety issue when it comes to security.
I think Gen Zs are mindful, like they don't want to end up in that situation,
Yeah.
like where they don't know what's happening. So,
Or like wake up hungover. I feel like
Yeah.
the next day you're feeling sick is gross.
Fair.
Yeah. Okay, next.
being friends with an ex.
Oh, what did Gen Z say?
Yeah. What would I-
Now I've heard what you would say. Mia would say no.
I would say for the first 1 or 2 years when it's fresh, no. Then later when everything is chill, then it's fair.
Even I would say no, like you can know your ex, but you can't be friends that you're talking to them. Like, you know,
actively.
No trust
they
generation.
could be like a mutual that, oh yeah, I was dating this person and everything's chill, but I don't want to talk to them.
Like if you still,
Now I will tell you something will shock you, but anyway, how you say.
if you want to wish your ex like happy birthday and all, that's a problem, I think. And you haven't completely forgotten about them. It's still like running, you still remember, you know.
So my ex-girlfriend is my best friend, is the godmother of my child right now. Like that is the level of love that me and her and our family has with each other. She's literally.
Maybe she's unique. She's special.
But this is, I think.
Shout out Neha, you're too good, bro.
Yeah, she really is.
No, but that's actually
That's
insane.
insane.
Yeah.
We were kids. We were like babies
Okay,
when we were
that's
dating
fair
each
then.
other.
Like a bachu relationship.
But like babies and like मतलब तुम्हारी age के नहीं थोड़े से ही छोटे थे. But yeah, 17, 18 when we were dating.
Okay,
so-
that's
fine, that's okay.
fine,
That's
yeah.
okay.
yeah.
Interesting.
Shout out Daisy.
Yeah, full on.
Wanting work-life balance.
What Gen Zs would absolutely wanted, and I mean, even before you say your millennial opinions, any millennial who does not want work-life balance is toxic. It is, you are toxic. You are the problem. If you think work-life balance is a issue, and you like anybody who kind of comes and talks about like working 24/7, etc., मैं तो उसी time switch off हो जाता हूँ. मतलब, you know, I always feel that if you are constantly talking about no balance, or you know, work is life and work is work, you don't have anybody in your life that you love actually deeply.
True.
Because if you did, you would want to make time in your life for them. If you are saying that work is everything and work-life balance does not matter, it is because you do not have a life to go back to. And that I feel sad about. Please go and make friends. Please go and have relationships. Please go and have a child. You will feel much, much more joyful in your life, much, much more complete. Don't just do it under pressure. Of course, do it when you choose to.
I want to ask you a question though. Do you feel like this work-life balance should come later in life, and maybe when you're young you should hustle? Because
Hustle culture.
a lot of
Yeah.
Gen Zs, again, two sides to it. Even when they're young, they feel like work-life balance chalega. But sometimes when they're young, they're like, okay, till 30, 40, 45, I'm going to grind, I'm going to go crazy and just figure my life out. And then after that, I'll come back and relax.
See, I feel like, so this is a little nuanced, right? In the sense that, देखो हर किसी भी चीज़ को आप एक्सट्रीम में लेकर जाओगे तो खराब हो जाती है ना. अगर आप कह रहे हो कि मुझे इतना ही वर्क लाइफ बैलेंस चाहिए कि मैं मतलब I am going to only work for X hours in a day and then I will do what said. But I also want a certain kind of money and a certain kind of respect, and I still want success in life and I still want a fruitful relationship. That may not necessarily be possible. So if you are asking to go against the odds completely and wanting it at the very extreme, of course it's an issue. Having said that, I also find a little bit of there are two parts again to what you said, right? Which is in your younger phase in life, if you're not grinding it out, are you going to make it, etc. And a lot of people also may not necessarily have the privilege for this, right? You may not be in a position to, you just are literally have to be putting food on the table for your family. So that is 80% of the country. I still say, because I've gone to those colleges, I've gone to a lot of colleges and I met all kinds of young people, and I still say to them, it's not about the choice you're making is not a choice between do I work 24 hours or do I work like 6 hours. The choice is that, you know, even on the difficult days, am I taking time out for myself? Am I taking time out for my family, for my loved ones? Am I checking in on them? Am I making sure they're checking in on me? Am I, even in the biggest projects of my life, am I still being there for my child, for my mother, for my friends, for my partner? If you're not doing that, that is the problem. If your work is so completely, if you're so completely absorbed in your work that you've completely forgotten the people around you, that is the problem. So it's not necessarily like, even now there are phases when I'm shooting, I'm really intensely into my project. At that point of time, BM Mania is going on, a season is going on for 3 months or something. I'm completely, utterly involved in every aspect of it. I look at literally every edit, to every word that goes out on my show, right? And on those days, sometimes I get up at 6 o'clock in the morning to work on edits, you know. But I make sure that अगर उस दिन मैं 9:30 बजे अपनी बेबी के साथ नहीं बैठ पा रहा, then I will make sure that I will come a little earlier and spend some more time with her. So you have to find that balance. Balance does not mean a true balance. It means just finding the time in your life to be able to do everything.
Very true.
Otherwise, and again, I will just see the other point of this. The otherwise, unfortunately, it might be too late and it will become a habit for you and you will not know how to deal with relationships if you put it off for too late. Agar aap 35, 40 pe suddenly you are one day waking up and saying, oh, I now want a perfect relationship in my life, you may not have, because you don't even have experience on how that works. You have missed such an entire part of your life to socialize with people around you, that I feel like that is also a very healthy part of your life that gives you the experience to be able to do whatever you want to do as a healthy human being later in life.
I hope we can like speak our mind like this someday.
Someday, truly, honestly.
And I honestly, I grew up on like books and not on the internet, which gives me a little bit of edge. I would say go back to books, Gen Z. It's a really, really great thing to do.
You have literally helped us segue because we are going to recommend something now.
Amazing.
It's time for RheChi Recommends. You can recommend anything, a book, movie, show, and we know you're really good at it.
Okay.
Or even like an episode, anything, whatever you want to recommend.
For our audience that you think they would enjoy.
So my favorite book that I recommend to everyone is this book called The Anthropocene Reviewed by John Green. John Green is most famous for writing romantic dramas like The Fault in Our Stars, you know, and so many other beautiful, beautiful books. He's created this whole coming of age genre for teen rom-coms. But his best work is a non-fiction book called The Anthropocene Reviewed, which the concept of which is so wonderful, it's so sweet. Basically used to be at some point a literary critic. And he used to have like 400 words to review a new book and give it a certain rating, 2 out of 5, 1 out of 5, etc., etc. He started recognizing that after a point of time, because of the internet, everything had reviews, right? Food started having reviews, and restaurants had reviews, and services had reviews, companies had reviews. So he basically during COVID realized that while the world reviews all kinds of random things, what if I reviewed the Anthropocene, which is what if I spoke about the things that bring me joy, the things that make me sad, the things that make me delirious, the things that affect me. And he basically has made a book of essays about the most incredibly interesting things. So for example, he's reviewed sunsets. And it's a beautiful essay on his relationship with sunsets and how at the end of it he'll be like, I give sunsets 5 out of 5. You know?
Damn.
And it's just so beautiful. It is. So when we were pregnant, you know, my wife and I, we were expecting, I would read this book to her every night. You know, just read one chapter from it. It became like a thing to do, and our baby's kind of grown up on listening to this in her tummy, and it's such a special book. You know, there's so many. He also speaks about anxiety in it. He reviews depression. It's I cannot tell you. It's like life affirming. You know, it's such a wonderful, wonderful, hopeful book. I recommended it to Shrishti who and she's like called me and said thank you for doing it. So I'm telling you, this is something that will change everyone's life
Wow.
Great.
in the best way possible.
I think our audience would love
This is
that
an amazing recommendation. Yeah.
Yes, and we are so grateful that you came and spoke so well, like unlocked something in our brains right now that we're going to think about later when we watch this episode again. And
honestly, I think for the rest of the month, our whole team is just going to be talking about this experience of having you on the podcast.
And whoever was not here truly missed out.
Karthik. मुझे भी समझ आ गया आप कौन है वो. But can I just say that these were some of the best questions and such simply asked, simply thought of, simply put, and yet so deep. Like it takes me, if you see Be a Man here, it takes me like 5 minutes to get to the question. I have so much context that I have before I even ask the question, and you just add the correct. In one line, you would ask like something that would get such a deep response from me, and I was like thinking the whole time. I was like, मैं ऐसे क्यों नहीं होस्ट कर पाता? Why don't I just like ask a question and get great
like
answers?
the compliment of the century for us.
Yeah, literally, I have like tears in my eyes.
Arya's also going to cry.
Thank you so much for coming on the podcast. We are all truly so happy that you made time and came here to talk to us.
I'm so happy to.
And we hope you had fun.
And
The time of my life.
Yay!
Best podcast I've been on. Everyone else do better.
Oh,
guys, you're heard. Thank you so much for watching. We hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel, and obviously him, I'm sure you already have. But we will see you same time, same place next week.
Bye!
Bye!